Hello. Today we're going to be going through a brief mat Pilates program that focuses on strengthening the legs with a little bit of flexibility. You won't need any equipment for today's session, just a mat if you're going to do this on the floor or a carpeted space or a towel, anything that makes you feel comfortable. We're going to start laying on our backs with the knees bent. Just to warm up a little bit, we're going to do some pelvic tilts, pulling the belly button into the spine and rocking the pelvis back, pressing the back into the mat, and curl up. Press down, engage the core, flatten the back out, and bring it up. You want to start paying attention to your breathing. It should be continuous, and the focus of your attention as you're going through the exercises. You never want to hold your breath while you're exercising. Breathe out. Press that back into the mat. Inhale. And one more. Exhale as you engage your core, pushing your back into the mat. And then regain your neutral spine position. I just want to focus on engaging your core while we lift the legs. So maintaining that little bit of small curve in the low back. We're just going to alternately lift your knees one leg at a time. Keep breathing your natural breathing pattern. As you inhale, you're going to fill your ribs. And as you exhale, nothing's moving in the spine, but your belly button is pulling in towards your back, providing a nice, stable core as your legs move. Breathe in, fill your ribs. And as you exhale, pull your belly button into the spine. Nothing should be moving from your pelvis and up. And just your legs move from below. Good. Now that we're warmed up a little bit, we're not going to do a big warm-up because it's not a long program today. We're going to curl up into a shoulder bridge. So push your back into the mat and roll your hips up so that the pressure is on your shoulders. No pain in your neck here. Keep your knees pointed to the ceiling. And your pelvis should be level. Your hips should be level. Not rocking up one side or the other. And you should have a nice straight line between your knee, your hip, and your shoulder. And we're just going to breathe here. And exhale. Remember, as you exhale, pull that belly button into your spine to provide some stability. Pretend like you're squeezing a ball between your knees so that your knees don't fall out to the side. And then slowly roll down one vertebra at a time. Inhale, and as you exhale again, flatten your belly into the mat, flatten your back out and peel up, so that your hips are up into the shoulder bridge, engaging your core to provide you stability. Keep breathing here. We don't want a hyper arch here. We want a nice straight line from your shoulders to your knees. And we're just working on control, no movement here. If you had a tray of marbles sitting across your hips, they wouldn't be moving. And then slowly lower yourself back down. Inhale, and as you exhale, one more, push your back into the mat and slowly peel your hips up, your back up off the mat. Pressures through your shoulders, and breathe. This will be our last bridge before we move into our side exercises. And we're just holding, squeezing those knees like they're aiming together. Your knees pointing straight up to the ceiling. and slowly lower down. Roll onto one side, and you can support your head with your arm. We're going to straighten both legs out, and your other hand can be in front of you to provide a little bit of stability. We don't want to go floppy in the core here, even though we're focusing on the legs. So you want to pretend like there's a grape under your side here, just beneath your ribs, and you want to not smush that grape. So still keep your trunk lifted, shoulders are relaxed. We're still engaging the core as we breathe. You're going to stretch your legs out, almost like they're going to lift up off the mat, so that they're both engaged. We're going to start with moving the front leg forward and back. You can flex your foot to get a little bit of an extra stretch on the way forward. Now, nothing above my hips is moving. We're focusing on stability and control. And this top leg is not lifting up any higher than my hip. Swing it forward and back and breathe. Don't hold your breath, and keep that bottom leg engaged for some stability. And back. Core is pulled in nice and tight, and your shoulders are relaxed, not pushing up towards your ears. One more here, and back. Keep that top leg lifted, and this time slide it like you're sliding it up the wall behind you. Flex your foot as you come down, dragging your heel like it's erasing the line that you've made. Now here we want to avoid rocking that top hip. So pretend like you've got a cup of coffee or a cup of water sitting on your hip here, and you don't want it to fall. So you're not rocking back, you're not rocking forward. One hip is stacked upon the other, and you're only raising your leg high enough as you can with keeping those nice and stacked. Keep that bottom leg engaged. Your core still pulling in as you breathe, with that extra pull into the spine on the exhale. And inhale, exhale, inhale. One more here, exhale, and inhale. Good, rest down for a second, and then peel those feet away again like someone's stretching your feet out away from you, just like they're gonna lift up off the mat. And this time the top leg is gonna do circles, little clockwise circles. Again, nothing above the hip is moving. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now counterclockwise. Just like you're painting a circle on the wall with your toe. 8, 9, and 10. Lower your feet, bend your knees. We're going to lift the feet up off of the mat about hip height, and then you're going to peel your top knee up, just raising it to about hip height. So the goal here is to not let your hips roll back as you lift your knee. So this keeps us in good alignment, so we're aiming to activate the proper muscles and not compensate by rolling the body back or doing something differently here. We're breathing up into the ribcage as we inhale. Don't let your shoulders become earrings. You want them nice and pressed down and engaging the core. Last one. Lower your knee and lower your feet. Slide that top leg forward and straighten the bottom leg. From here, that bottom leg is going to lift up off of the mat, stretching out long. And we're going to do pulses here. 1, 2, and breathe. Inhale for 2, exhale for 2. Inhale for 2, exhale for 2. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. I usually don't do this program upstairs, and the dog is barking at the delivery man down the street. So I apologize for the background noise. Last one here, inhale and exhale, and lower. We're gonna bring ourselves back onto our back again, and let's stretch it out with another bridge. So again, your ankles below your knees, feet are about hip width apart. You're gonna peel your back up off the mat, lifting your hips. The weight is in your shoulders and not in your neck. If this is challenging enough for you, just do this. Otherwise, we're going to add a pulse. So just pulse up at the very end here. Don't lose the stability and the control of your knees, and lower. Good, 2 more sets of that. Inhale, and as you exhale, peel up. Hips level, knees pointed to the ceiling. Again, just hold here if that's challenging enough for you. If you're ready for the extra little bit, we're going to pulse. Trying to keep your hips level, your core is engaged, and lower. Last one here. Inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, pull your belly button in, peel your back up off the mat, up into your shoulder bridge, and pulse. Feel like you're squeezing a ball between your knees to help gain control of that and not letting them fall to the side, and lower. We're going to roll onto the opposite side. I'm going to flip around so that you can still see me. So, head on your hands, the other hand is in front of you for stability. Legs are nice and long. Okay, core is engaged, shoulders relaxed. We're going to engage the legs by stretching them straight out in front of, away from you, and lift the top leg. We'll start with the kicks forward here. So kick forward and back. Inhale, exhale. So again, we don't want that leg coming up real high. Not any higher than the height of the hip. The core is engaged. It's preventing anything above your leg from moving. We're just doing slow and controlled here. And as you can see, I'm flexing my foot on the way forward. It gives me a little bit of an extra stretch. Only do that if you have the flexibility for that. Shoulders down. And breathe. Keep that bottom leg engaged to help provide you some stability as you're moving. And don't smush that grape under your waistline. One more here, kick forward and back. Good, lower it down. Keep your legs engaged. And we're gonna lift up and down. Point your toe as you raise it, flex to come down. So you're sliding your leg like there's a wall behind you. That way your hips stay stacked one on top of the other. And it's not rocking backwards or forward as you move your leg. Keep that bottom leg engaged so that it provides you some support and your shoulders are not rising up and you're still breathing. And lift, lower, lift, lower. Good. Straighten that top leg out and just lift it to about hip height here. And we're going to do circles. So I always start with clockwise. Like you're painting a circle on the wall with your big toe. And everything in your core is engaged. so that you're staying still in the trunk here. Counterclockwise. The bigger the circle, the harder it is. So you can start with a nice small circle where you have control. Control is the key here, as is breathing. You always want to be breathing. And relax. Bend your knees. Lift your ankles up. Inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, lift that top knee to about hip height. Again, you want to pretend that there's that imaginary cup sitting on your hip, and it's not going to tip because you're not rolling backwards, you're not rocking forward. Actually, raising the feet up here helps us to stay in that position and really isolate that movement. Couple more here. Really feel that in the hip. Nothing else is moving. Your core is engaged and you're still breathing. Last one, and lower. Slide that top leg forward. Straighten the bottom leg out. We're going to lengthen through that leg, stretch it up off the mat, and pulses here. Keep breathing like we did with the opposite side. Inhale for 2, exhale for 2. So it's inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. Neck is long. Your spine is lengthened and you're engaging your core so that nothing is moving except this lower leg. One more breath in and out and lower. Good, we're going to go back onto our backs for another bridge. I'm going to stay facing this way since I rotated with that last one. So inhale, and as you exhale, roll your hips up off the mat, putting yourself in a nice straight line here. And as always, just holding the bridge is plenty. If this feels like an okay challenge and you're ready to add something else, I want you to shift your weight into your left foot and lift your right foot up and lower. Shift your weight into the right foot. Push through that leg. Lift your left knee up and lower. So with this, we're going to go side to side. So shift your weight left. Engage that leg. Keep your hips level and lift. Lower. Shift your weight into the right. Really push through that heel. Keep your hips up. Lift your knee and lower. We're doing nice and slow here. Shift your weight left and lift. Sometimes it's harder to do slow and controlled than fast without good quality. Shift your weight into your right heel. Lift your knee. You want this to stay nice and even as you lift your leg up. One more each side. Shift your weight left. Push through the left heel. Raise the right and lower. Shift your weight right. Push through that right heel and lift your left and lower. And then slowly roll back onto the mat. Got one more set of those here. Inhale, and as you exhale, press your back into the mat. Roll up. Engage your hips. Keep your breathing going. And we're going to shift our weight to the left. Lift the right knee. Lower. Shift right. Engage. Lift those hips and lift your left knee. Shift left. Engage. Hips level. and lift. Shift your weight right. Push through the heel and lift the left knee. And lower. Your neck is long. Your core is engaged, holding you in this position. Shift your weight left. Lift the right knee. And lower. Shift your weight right. And lift the left knee. Last one on this side. Shift left. Lift the right. And down. Shift left. Or shift right. Lift the left. And down. Roll yourself one spinal segment at a time back onto the mat. We've got one more bridge here. So inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, peel up. Your standard bridge is always okay here. It's a perfect modification. If you feel up for the challenge, I want you to lift your right leg. And we're going to pulse here for 10, 9, 8. Still keep your hips level. Push that foot up to the ceiling. Bend down. And roll back to the mat. Lastly, on the other side, inhale. And as you exhale, belly button to the spine, peel up. Knees pointing to the ceiling. Hip, shoulder, or about hip width apart. And again, inhale, and as you exhale, bring that left leg straight up. And we're going to pulse. 1. And breathe. Foot to the ceiling. Good. Bring that foot back down and lower down. Bring your knees into your chest. Let's stretch out those hips. Take some deep breaths here to relax your body. Roll your knees over to the right. Look over your shoulder to the left and stretch. Knees into your chest. And your knees over to the left. Look over your right shoulder. And breathe. Just let those hips fall to the side. If your shoulder's down, you can add some extra pressure to your knees with your left hand. And then back in to the chest. One last stretch here. And come on up. Thanks for trying out our leg-focused Pilates workout today, and we hope to see you again next time.